it safe to say that Drake might be the worst thing to ever happen to hip hop? The more information that comes out, the more developments that come out about this lawsuit, it just makes him look worse. It just makes him look worse. So now you're bringing in Dave Free, Whitney, and Kendrick's children into this? You're bringing them into this. I have to ask the Drake defenders is what does this have to do with his contract?
Exactly.
What does any of that have to do with taking down the music industry, getting back at UMG for trying to devalue him? What does that have to do with any of that? If because y'all keep telling me it's not about the battle. This lawsuit has nothing to do with the battle and has everything to do with the music industry doing him wrong and like them picking Kendrick over Drake and like he's just trying to get what he's owed. What does any of that he is including in this lawsuit now? What does any of that have to do with that?
What is good, yo? Welcome back to the channel. And listen, I appreciate all of y'all for watching these videos. I appreciate y'all coming through, showing me the love. And it's been amazing. Now, I always say I am not going to make another Drake video because it doesn't make sense. And then he does some stupid colonizer bullshit that makes you just want to make another video. And it's no denied. I got my other camera out today. I brought it back. I haven't used this camera in a while, but I appreciate y'all. So I figure I want to give y'all a different, wider view. You know, I got like 4 cameras in here, and I like to switch them up from time to time. But listen, Drake is outside, man. Drake is scratching, he's clawing, he's trying to get, he's slipping, but he's trying to catch something. He's trying to catch something. I don't know what's going on, man, but this dude out here, and he just like bringing some, is there at anything at this point that you could say Drake might do that you're going to say, oh, that surprised me? That really surprised me. Now, if you're honest with yourself, you got to say you expect it. I expected this. Drake is taking this to the end till some sensible judge say, I'm going to throw this out because we're all just wasting valuable time. You know, how come this is in the Canadian court? This is an American court system that's just going to drain useless money and resources that we could be put to something common sense-ish. I know that's not a word, but it sounds dope. But let's get to it. I got this mashup here of a lot of people, man. The internet has gone crazy, man. Drake come out and add in Kendrick Lamar's family to this lawsuit. Now, this I can't even say alleged because it really happened. It's really happened, y'all. This is really going on. This is really going on. Like, is there any Drake fans out there for real that can defend this? Let me know down in the comments. Like, I thought this was about Not Like Us. Wasn't that what this was about? This was about Not Like Us. Now we're talking about Kendrick's, if he potentially had beaten his wife. You know, I don't condone to any of that, but what does that really have to do with you? What is the whole purpose of all this? Why is digging this up important? Like to prove you're not a liar? Bruh, either way, it's not going to change what we think about what happened in the battle. You still lost. You got destroyed. You weren't prepared. You didn't take it serious. Remember all those things last year, Aubrey? After you egged it on, he came in and knocked you the F out. And if you look and see this Grand National Tour that's going on, you could see that around the world, everybody was listening. Because apparently, they are way more invested than we are here in the United States. Because it could show the stadium. You could show when they performed, they made his music seem like they were rocking out to Michael Jackson or Prince. And you know who claimed to be Michael Jackson? Yes. Senor Aubrey. Senor Drake. Senor Drake always, and Kendrick was above Michael Jackson. He's been above Michael Jackson. The only difference is I didn't see anybody crying over Kendrick Lamar like they used to cry over Michael Jackson. But they were rocking out like they were rock stars, like it was the Beatles or the Beach Boys. I get around, ooh. It felt like that. But it was a K-Dot, man. This was Kendrick Lamar, that kid from Compton that y'all say ain't got nothing but West Coast music. His music only resonates to the West Coast. And what did I say back then? Don't listen to DJ Akin's crap. He don't represent the East Coast. He don't represent the East Coast and what we like. Real hip hop is real hip hop, and around the world we understand what real hip hop is when we hear it. It's natural. It's pure. There's not a lot of authentic, like a lot of AI to it. Auto tune automatically disqualifies you. You have never heard Kendrick Lamar on an auto tune ever, and you never will. There's certain artists where you will never hear them on no auto tune. Jay-Z will never be on an auto tune. People like that, because they're pure to hip hop and what it really is. So listen, y'all need to come follow me through these mashup, man. I got a mashup for y'all of people talking about Drake. Of course, you're gonna have to throw in a few glazers in there for Drake, because listen, just as much as we think this shit is ridiculous, there's somebody on the other side who think this is the best thing since sliced bread. Like they're out of this world. They're like, you know what? Drake is for the industry. Drake is for the industry. That's how they feel. That's how they feel. Hey, like the video. He gets it out to more people so they can enjoy it like you did. So let me know down in the comments how you feel about this bull crap Drake pulling, because listen, he proves he's a colonizer every day. If you look at the people he streams with, there are certain particular melanin, I could say. There's certain particular melanin. And we can see the ones that should resonate with him and his music. He only use them as propaganda and talk about him, but he will never go on a stream. Even though, like these dudes glaze him, they know his music, and he still won't go on his stream because he's proven to us who he is. See who he is, man. He's a colonizer. But let's get it.
Hey, yo, I realize a lot of people don't understand what the UMG Drake situation is really about. And this is the hard part about it, because you leave it up to fan interpretation.
Okay.
If you ask the average fan, it's about Drake getting the bag, Drake trying to help the independent artists. No, he's not. Drake is doing this to help himself. Drake is doing this to salvage his reputation. Drake is doing this because he can't accept a loss. Even though he has one of the biggest fan bases in hip-hop history, he still can't accept his L. It's all ego-driven, the entire lawsuit. Now, the average idiot Drake fan would say, UMG sided with Kendrick to bring down Drake's stock so they didn't have to pay him all that money.
Now, if you ask me, I think Drake lost more fans after he started pulling these antics that he did during the beef. There was fans, I think, on the fence with Drake during the beef that were like, you know what? I'm still riding with Drake because he put out good music, you know? And I could understand that. But if you're really true to hip hop, there's no way you can tell me that this is what you like this is not hip hop. Nothing he's doing is about hip hop. How could you tell me you're a true hip hop fan and love what he's doing? What he's doing is trying to ruin the creativity of what is supposed to be pure and raw. That's why hip hop is. Every other genre, you have to follow something. This genre is, we're going to dish you if you want to enter this battle. We're going to do that to you. And he's making a mockery out of it. A mockery.
Money. Ask yourself this question. What is there to gain from something that is destroyed? What is there to gain from something that's damaged? There were some strong accusations in those diss records that would tarnish anybody's image. You can't sell that product to anybody. When you put a certain tag on certain things, it's harder to sell. Are you telling me that UMG really wanted to make things harder for themselves in that market? Do you feel like that's a good business move or business practice?
Now, the one thing I got to say about this, and I didn't really think about it till now. I think UMG, right? They were looking at it a different way. They said, you know what? This is two of the biggest artists when it comes to hip hop. And I think UMG was like, you know what? We're going to just watch this from the sideline and see what happens. Now, you can speculate whatever you want to. I'm not going to say you're wrong. But I think UMG looked at it, was like, yo, this isn't like a huge artist going up against a little guy. These are two big people on two big platforms. So we can't really do nothing to silence anybody. If you really think about it, you can't really do nothing to silence anybody because these are two of the biggest people with a huge fan base. And then here's the thing. As much as Drake fans talk about how Kendrick Lamar don't have numbers, he don't do this, UMG knows what the numbers are. They know what the numbers are, right? So if they know what the numbers are, go ahead, y'all. Go ahead and fight. Because they know the numbers gonna explode. They knew it was gonna explode. So why would they try to hurt one of the artists when they think they're even keeled? Let's be honest. That's how you really got to look at it. If you think about it, they knew what was finna happen, because at the end of the day, they understand what's going on the inside, and they knew more than we thought. We think they don't know a lot, but they knew a lot. So I agree to that one. But I think UMG looked at it and was like, yo, I don't think any of these artists need protecting. They've been sparring for 10 years, and you know what? I'm getting paid. So if I'm getting paid on both ends, I ain't got nothing to lose. They really don't.
Y'all understand what diminishing returns mean? Drake may have a heavy output when it comes to music, but when it comes to good music, it's diminishing. UMG knew that shit couldn't last forever, and Drake knows it too. 15 years was a good run. It is what it is. If I was that guy that was on the other end of UMG and they was trying to tear me down for whatever reason, I could just simply say no. I don't want to take your deal. Especially when you got people like Russ out here making $100 million as a independent artist. You're Drake.
Okay.
Document request number 51. From January 1st, 2019 to present, all documents and communications relating to David Isaac Friley, aka Dave Free, and his relationship with Kendrick Lamar Duckworth and Kendrick Lamar Duckworth's children. Is this bitch trying to have the courts conduct a paternity test between Dave Free and Kendrick's children as part of his lawsuit? And you bitches told me it was about UMG. It wasn't about Kendrick. That it was about the song being illegally pushed and not anything personal to Kendrick. If that was the case, why the fuck are his children in this lawsuit now? Why is Dave Free even in this lawsuit if he's suing UMG?
It's all making sense to me. Isn't that what Drake said? None of this makes sense, man. And I don't see how anybody could stand on this. How could you stand on this? Like, what are we really talking about? We talking about practice?
They say Drake legal team done got a hold of Kendrick's record deal. What y'all gonna do? Y'all find out Kendrick on the 360? I'm bullshit. But this is interesting. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of y'all said this wasn't going anywhere.
It's true. I mean, it's going a lot further than I thought it would have gone, to be honest. If you feel different, let me know that in the comments. Did you think this case would have went this far for now? I got to say, I don't think it would have. But here we are.
You don't get little wins like that if it ain't going anywhere. The judge had to say, shit. I mean, yeah, go on look at it. Go on look at it. You can't call me a pedophile and not get sued. I just want to bring that back up in case it faded away a little too much. Y'all know how y'all like to fade away when y'all wrong. I remember it. I was here. Y'all was all on TikTok. Oh, so Drake's suing and not for defamation of someone calling him a PDF file? I was like, he better. And then they were like, well, he's suing. We had this conversation not too long ago. I just want to give y'all the refresher. You get in a car accident, you don't sue the person, you sue their insurance. You get bit by their dog, you don't sue the person, you sue their insurance. You have a slip and fall accident at work, you sue the insurance. Yep. At Walmart, you're not suing Walmart, you suing the insurance. The insurance. And UMG happens to be they the company with the insurance for their artist. I just want to refresh y'all. Cause a lot of y'all had a lot to say about him not suing for defamation, but that's what he doing.
Drake in his entire catalog of music after this right here. The reason why you was taking this man to court was for They Not Like Us. How we go from They Not Like Us to wanting documents of domestic violence allegations and then wanting to know Dave's Free relationship with Kendrick Lamar and Kendrick Lamar's children, and then he also is requesting to know what his contract is, what he's getting paid, how much he's receiving. That has nothing to do with They Not Like Us.
Nope.
You got out-rapped by a West Coast nigga, and you had no response. You're one of the greatest artists of this generation, supposed to be one of the greatest lyricists of this generation, and you had nothing to say to this man or couldn't produce a decent record to combat They Not Like Us. That's why you're in court. But see, what you're doing now is you're in uncharted territory, right? You're doing things that you're not supposed to because you're being petty because you lost. I don't respect no man like that. This ain't about hip hop. This ain't about music. This ain't about art. This is about a grown ass man that can't take a loss. And there's a lot of y'all walking around just like Drake. Y'all won't take an L. Y'all gonna do everything to not take that L. Take your L, go disappear for about a couple of months, make a fire-ass album, come back, drop the album, we'll forget about They Not Like Us. But this shit right here, I'm not with it, bro. Y'all can have it.
Now, everybody know when you go through something, the best thing to do is you got to leave and reinvent yourself, right? So I understand that. Men, women, it doesn't matter who you are. You take time, you heal. You have to be able to heal, and then you come back later, and then you resurrect or whatever. But yeah. So let me know how y'all feel about this, man.
First thing I do after waking up is open Twitter.
Okay.
And they're talking about the drop and give me 50 bar from Drake. But that got me thinking. Drake, you don't own your masters, and you got bad business too. Like, they was really arguing in these comment sections. Homie said Birdman never played with Drake's money. And that's how I know y'all are not tapped in.
That's true.
Y'all don't remember when Lil Wayne sued Birdman?
True. Yeah.
Y'all don't remember this? It was just a couple years ago, guys. So first of all, Drake, if Top Dog was telling Kendrick to drop and give me...
And it's crazy because I've been saying for years that the reason why Drake had a downfall was when him and Baby went through that dispute over Young Money. Because I think Wayne owned 1% less than Baby did. And they fought for a couple of years, and I think that's what killed Wayne's career. Let me know that in the comments. I know some Wayne fans gonna come at me, but hey, it is what it is, man. Wayne at one point was one of the biggest artists, and Baby killed it because he didn't want him to get. I guess Wayne would have got bigger than he was. But the whole time that Nicki and Drake was really under Wayne, they went through a lot of fights, man, with Birdman.
Give me 50%, drop and give me 50. Birdman told you to drop and give him 66. Drop and give him 66%.
66%.
And for those looking for the official court documents, 2009, they had an agreement, and Drake was supposed to be receiving money consistently and getting accounting. And from 2012 until they filed this lawsuit in 2018, that's like 6 years, Birdman was not doing it. So Kendrick, you got some more ammo, brother.
With the internet now, I always say the internet gonna do their thing. There's records out there. There's public records. And one we can see has been caught in a lot of lies, and the other one is becoming more and more of a prophet. And it's not Senor Drake.
Bring them in just a tad bit because they wowed the fuck out today.
Today they requested UMG to provide any information they had on anything that indicated Kendrick Lamar having a DV case,
Which is still not a proven fact.
They also asked for information on Dave Free's relationship with his children.
That's kinda nasty, bro. But no, it didn't stop there. They want Lucian Grange to be a key witness in their lawsuit. They claim that Lucian was always encouraging on competition between the record labels, which means they're trying to prove that this guy was encouraging the devaluing of Drake. They're saying Lucian had nothing to do with it, even though Lucian is on the record saying whenever Drake calls, he answers. So it wouldn't surprise me if he knew a little bit about this before it even came out. But this move right here doesn't sit right with me. Because A, don't bring the kids into it, and I'm pretty sure the Dave Free stuff is not true. But Drake is playing into public perception. So they're requesting documents that don't exist because they know that this is gonna hit the public. And at that point, who cares? But you guys let me know what you think about all this in the comments.
So Drake is now asking about Kendrick Lamar's kids in his lawsuit. Y'all, we already know that Drake has the big UMG lawsuit going on, and if you want to go against the machine, then go against the machine. But everybody was making it a point to say he was not going against Kendrick Lamar, and he was not turning this rap beef into a lawsuit. However, after today, you cannot say the same. So he is now requesting for information from January 1st, 2014 up until now of any communications or allegations of Kendrick Lamar in a DV situation, any violence against women, and not just women, any violence or allegations of violence, period, from Kendrick Lamar. To me, that is some police ass shit. Now, to make matters worse, he is requesting all information from January 2019 up until now on the relationship between Dave Free and Kendrick Lamar. He's also requesting a relationship between Dave Free and Kendrick Lamar's children. You know, Drake was trying to put out that Dave Free was actually one of those kids' father, and it was not Kendrick Lamar. Y'all, I feel like this is just going a little bit too far, because what does this have to do with the music and the bots and all the other stuff that they were saying at first? Now, Pusha T is also mentioning this in the story of Adidon. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. They mentioned that all communications regarding that song. They also want to know who was involved with the whole Not Like Us video, the owl scene, the hopscotch scene, the storage containers, and basically the lyrics of the song all together. Y'all.
Damn, they even want to know the creation of the music video. That really hurt him, y'all. That music video really hurt him. Who was it to put the owl in the cage? Who was it? Wow, that really hurt him. Everything you're hearing in this case is things that bothered him.
Was involved with the whole Not Like Us video, the owl scene, the hopscotch scene, the storage containers, and basically.
Who was it? Whose idea was it to hopscotch while you call me a minor? Who was it? Who was it to put that in the script? Because that was very offensive to me. That was very offensive to me. And my heart breaks. My heart breaks. Now, I've studied rap battles, but that's just different. I've studied rap battles.
Basically, the lyrics of the song all together. Y'all, this is getting way more messier than I even thought it would. Soon as I have some more information, I'll let y'all know.
And I'm going to keep saying, Drake fans, how do you defend this? How do you defend this? How do you defend what's going on right now in this case, so-called I Care About Hip Hop Aubrey Graham? This is some colonizer bull crap. Don't belong in the culture bull crap. Honestly, ooh, yuck, Drake. Yeah. I'm with you, Anchor Man. I mean, Company Man, Anchor Man. I'm with you, Company Man. Ooh, yuck, Drake. For real.
Suing for defamation, why do you need documents involving Dave Free's relationship with him and his kids? Also, exactly. How would UMG know that Kendrick's kids are his or not? Because I know they say record labels artists, but I don't think they mean that literally oftentimes. You know, I feel like that's just a metaphor, like a figure of speech. So how? Anyway, so if you're suing for defamation, then I guess Kendrick could sue you for defamation?
I actually doubt Kendrick would sue for anything said in a rap beef, let alone anybody in the history of hip-hop would ever sue for anything said during a rap beef. Except for the boy, you know, he got to make history. What else can I expect from the same person who went on radio interviews talking about the control verse with the harsh words said in it instead of getting in the booth and rapping?
But then you would already have, like, the proof. You would already have the proof to show that what you were saying was true. So why do you now need the proof from UMG to show the proof that you claimed to already hit? I don't know what's going on. I just know this nigga. I can't say what. I don't know what's going on. This lame ass bitch face shit is all I see. That's it.
I feel like, when the control verse came out, I don't think a lot of people checked Drake after the interview on that. Right there is when I think a lot of people started letting shit slide. And he thought he was one of us. He thought he could come in here and say whatever he wanted to do and do what he wanted whenever he wanted. But that's when the colonizer started, when he started doing things like that. That was different from what we're used to. People looked at it as a joke. But he took it serious. He took it very serious. And it bothered him a lot. Everything he's putting in this lawsuit, the little things you see him crying, Karen-ish about, is things that have bothered him. It's things that's making his skin itch.
We are in 2025. You over here like, yo, no, this is why I want to beef, guys. I'm gonna find it out right now. No, I'm telling the truth. When in reality, people don't care, bro. They've already moved on. You doing this just proves that all of these comments live in your mind rent-free. Just let it go, bro. You had the opportunity to do this in the moment. And the fact that you're having a legal team do it is like, bro, looking back at how everything played out, everything that Kendrick said about Drake was not true at all. It was the way that he sold it. It was his confidence. It was his charisma. And people rode behind that.
It was also his writing. Kendrick was an amazing writer. And he paints a picture. He doesn't just say something and just blah. He shows you. He paints a picture in words so you can understand how he did it. And he expressed it. And if Drake went into different types of storytelling like that, he will kind of understand. Like, you can just say, oh, he beats his wife. But if you paint a picture, so we're like, oh, Kendrick beats his wife. Will we really believe? Then we will believe. But it's not just about people in America. The world heard it. The world heard it. Everything. They understood it. So you're the one that fell short, not Little Short Kung Fu Kenny.
To sell it as if you ensnared him into a 4D chess trap, when in reality we knew that that was not the case. Your responses to his claims were weak. You were shaky. Even if Kendrick was saying things that wasn't true about you, he said it with confidence, and that's what sold it at the end of the day, bro. Just take the L in peace and move forward, or else you're gonna be enslaved to this forever. Other than that, though, let me know your thoughts. I'm curious.
Too late. Kendrick is living rent free in his head, for real. Like, he's in there just boom, 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 bop, boom, bop, boom, bop, bing. That type of shit that I'm on. The type of thing I'm on you don't understand. He's in there. Big dog, I would not hold your hand. And Audric is, they not like us. They not like us. I thought this whole lawsuit was about not like us. Isn't that what they told us? If it's about not like us, what do they want to know about Dave Free's kid? And they want to know if like paternity, like, what are we talking about? His contract. Now, I'm assuming they're saying that somewhere in this contract there's some type of negotiation with Not Like Us and these rap tracks. I don't know what they really expect to find. Yeah, if you're a Drake fan and you're listening to this, let me know what's expected to find out in the comments. Like, what are y'all really looking for in the contract that's not there? Because I'm really curious. I mean, it's a publishing deal. Now, do y'all think if UMG decide to do some legal things, it's going to be done on paperwork? Do y'all really think that? Well, what artists were we talking about? There was some artists that we did a video on, and they were talking about UMG wouldn't talk to them, wouldn't write them letters. They'll only call them. They will only talk to them by word of mouth. They ain't stupid. They one of the largest companies in the world. They not ready to implicate themselves on a bunch of ignorant ninjas out here. They ain't finna do that. They're not gonna do that. y'all must be some fools.
There's been so many cases, so much I've had going on. I really have not had time to sit down and really dissect and take in this Drake lawsuit, right? That includes the UMG and the whole beef between him and Kendrick Lamar. I'm on X as I'm listening to the trial. I was just updating. And this tweet pops up. You mean to tell me that in Drake's recent motion to compel, he is asking for UMG to provide proof that Kendrick is a domestic abuser and proof that Dave Free is not the father of Kendrick Lamar's children? All bullshit aside, I don't care about the beef. Let's just talk about this from a hip-hop standpoint. Kendrick, he crushed it. He crushed it. And honestly, when I hear the thing about the bots, I think all companies use bots. I've worked in the music industry before. I do think there's some truth to it, right? But he has probably benefited from the very things he's accusing Kendrick of benefiting from. Okay? Let's just start there. I'm going to say this. there is something that I personally know or I've heard about Drake. And when I heard it in Euphoria, I was like, oh, damn.
What's that?
Maybe most of this stuff Kendrick is saying about Drake is true. But Dave Freed being his children's father, Drake, where is the Memphis in you, Drake? Me being from...
I mean, you got to think about it, though. It's a good angle if you're in a rap battle. It's not a bad angle. So if I'm going to go all in, it's not a bad angle. Now, it's just like how Kendrick went in on his angle. Things hit and things don't hit. So if it didn't hit, it's because basically the culture didn't accept it. If it hit, the culture accepted it. So y'all can figure out what y'all want to, right? You ain't got to prove nothing to nobody, sister. It's already been judged. It's figured out.
From Memphis, I'm embarrassed. Drake, where's the Memphis from you? Where's the Memphis in you at? Because
you need to understand something, sis. Drake doesn't care about anything to do with his daddy. He's a mama's boy. So yeah, figure that one out too, right?
Because this shit right here has to stop. What? What are you doing right now, Drake? Just please hang this up. Go on an island somewhere, get your mind together, and then come back. The shit is over with. I personally know I play Euphoria and Not Like Us so many damn times. Those are my songs. I love those songs. I love them. Okay? Especially Euphoria. Drake, what are we doing? This has to stop.
I still think Euphoria is the best diss track of all time. You know, it's one of my favorite diss tracks. You know what I mean? He's got top 3 diss tracks, man, between Meet the Grams and Not Like Us. Man, those are all classics, man. And don't forget about Like That.
Okay, he came back, Kendrick, but please bring up why he was texting underage Millie Bobby Brown, bro. Please, bro, do what Pusha couldn't, man. Do what he couldn't.
Do y'all see what I'm saying? Do you see how that one hit differently? The Millie Bobby Brown, because we all saw it. We all saw it. Like you don't have to dig too far to find out things make sense. You know what I'm saying? It hits differently. Let me know that in the comments if it's just me. But that one hit differently, didn't it?
Kendrick Lamar and Rick Ross called Drake a white boy, and he proved them right at every single turn. How much of a loser-ass Karen do you have to be to get the law involved in a rap beef? In Drake's lawsuit against UMG for the diss track Not Like Us, he's requesting documents regarding DV allegations about Kendrick Lamar and requesting paternity tests for Kendrick's children, rumors that he created and spread about Kendrick. Not only that, he's requesting full disclosure of Kendrick's recording contract. This is horrible for hip-hop. Labels will now see musicians as liabilities and rappers won't be able to make the same music they want. Drake is actively destroying the culture, something a certain demographic is known for.
Drake stands trying to spin this lawsuit like he didn't sue because he lost the rap beef. This latest request from the judge proves that Drake is not a martyr. Drake don't give a fuck about the labels using the artists. He don't care about, the labels be doing underhanded tack. This shit ain't about none of that. His latest request just proves he's bad. He got spanked. That is literally it. He got spanked. Point blank period. Like, I don't understand how y'all keep trying to make this shit out to be like Drake some kind of martyr, bro. Like, nigga, how you requesting all documents or all communication between Dave Free and Kendrick Lamar from 2019? Nigga, the rap beef was in 2024. So you want 6 years of communication between Kendrick and Dave Free. What the fuck does that have to do with you losing the rap beef?
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck?
So is Drake trying to basically say this was all planned out? That's my speculation, right? They all planned this strategically. Like they're all like, at the end of the day, the people are the one that decided who won. You know what I'm saying? Now, who was the one out there throwing stones? Wasn't it Drake the one throwing stones at Kendrick? Drop, drop, drop. Wasn't that Drake? Wasn't that Aubrey Graham doing that? That's what we saw, right? That's what happened. What did UMG and Kendrick and Dave Free have to do with that? What did they have to do with that, Aubrey?
What the fuck does that have to do with UMG underhanding Drake, allegedly? Which they didn't. Drake was just fucking cocky and went into the rap beef thinking that he was going to pushed Kendrick away like he was nothing. And it didn't turn out how he wanted. So now he's in court suing like a bitch. Nothing y'all can say to me will prove that Drake actually cares about other artists getting used by labels and this, that, and the other. He don't give a fuck. He don't give a goddamn fuck. And y'all keep trying to make it like Drake's some fucking victim. Nah, buddy. You begged that man to drop, and then when he dropped, you lost the beef. And now you suing, trying to...
I just said that. Now, I haven't watched this clip. I started out, but, yo, you begged for it. You asked to be pegged, and you got pegged. You gave him information. You said you fed him information, and he used it, and now you're upset. You told him to use the Bobby Billy Brown angle or whatever it was. He used it, and you got more madder. I know that's not a word, but that's what happened. You got more upset.
He dropped, you lost the beef. And now you suing, trying to pretend that you unbothered by it. Trying to pretend. Like, bro, we seen them throwing shit at you on the stage. That ain't never happened before. The people really genuinely don't fuck with you no more. And you can't accept the fact that you lost. Go home, Roger. Tired of your ass.
I know she's talking about that TP situation over there in Amsterdam. Make sure I go check out my video. I got one on there, man. Listen, Drake has been being disrespected by his fans. You know, the stands are always going to be right with him, but he's going to always lose casual fans because in order for you to become an international superstar, you got to colonize other fan bases. And he was good at that. He was great at that. But now those fan bases are starting to let go because they understand he's not true to his real art. He's been fictitious.
From the moment that Drake lost this rap battle with Kendrick, he's been showing more and more about how so not the culture he is. In part of his new, legal pursuit against UMG and Kendrick, clearly Kendrick, because a lot of you kept saying it's UMG, Drake is asking the courts to, force UMG to provide documentations pertaining to, Dave Free, who is Kendrick's, long-time collaborator, manager, creative director, all the sort of things. The relationship between Kendrick and his children, in essence, is asking the courts to force them to take a paternity test to prove whose children that is.
Yeah, how crazy that is. A paternity test. A paternity test. What the hell does this have to do with a diss track? What does this have to do with a diss track? How could y'all be defending this dude? Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? He wants paternity tests on Dave Free's kid or Kendrick's kid to say that Dave Freeze is their biological father. Isn't that a matter between them, even if it's true? Like, you're going to court order that? Like, when did you become the judge and the jury? What are we talking about? Did y'all hear that?
That is disgusting. That is disgusting. How you
Very.
bringing children into a lawsuit because you lost a rap beef? A rap beef, mind you, that you ensued. Drop.
Man.
And now you're forcing the courts to provide paternity tests of whose kids that is. This is who you people are championing. This is who you people are championing as, the king of rap. The rap industry is nothing without Drake on top. Look at this antic. Look at his behavior. In all the documents, he also asked for communication to prove that Pusha T was censored. In other words, if you censored Pusha T, why didn't you censor Kendrick when he was going at me? This lawsuit is just a clear indication of how low Drake will stoop to find a win in anything. He lost the rap beef and he said, I'm going to try and win in courts, no matter how dirty and low I look. This is just shameful.
When Drake got into this rap beef, he really thought UMG was going to protect him the way they did against Pusha T. And what I mean by that is we're finding out now that Pusha T was getting censored. So basically, they would review the verse first, and then he'll have to take certain things out, change certain things to make it more palatable, so it doesn't diminish Drake more than he is. Now, like I said, when UMG saw Drake and Kendrick going head up, they looked at it like, you know what, we got two big artists, and right now their fan bases are so big, we finna make money either way. We don't care who gets scarred. We don't care what happened. UMG was like, you know what, the gloves are off. You've been popping a lot of junk. You've been popping a lot of junk. But Drake is popping junk with backup in the back. So he's talking junk, while if you write the best song that you could ever write to this guy, it's never going to see the light of day because he put a cease and desist before it even gets to getting cleared. It's getting looked at. It's proven. He's just admitted to that against Pusha T. Pusha T talked about that before the Clips album dropped. So we've seen a lot of truth to this. And what he's been doing is silencing our music. If you don't want to be in hip hop music, you don't have to be. Stay over there in whatever the hell that is. Pop, whatever that is, you call it over there that you do, stay over there. But don't come over here inside a rap battle, get kicked in the throat everywhere. You're still getting kicked right now because that GNX tour is finna break records. The numbers ain't out yet, Drake, but your records, it's right now. Your record is in jeopardy. And he's still got the Spanish leg and Australia to do this year. While you canceling concerts, these people are doing straight out stadium shows with no bullshit. Nobody running through the crowd, making a bunch of jokes, calling people on stage to hug them. No, they're actually performing, doing what at the end of the day, fans want to see you perform the songs. If you say you're going to give us 15 songs, when we come to the goddamn show, we expect 15 songs. If you give us 16, we're okay, but we ain't going to be upset. But don't come to the stadium doing 9 and wonder why everybody upset because you've been running around doing a bunch of stupid antics on stage. And now when you do colonize and stuff like this, you really make people. And look, as I'm sitting here, I get a Taylor Swift tweet. Not a tweet, but a message come about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Her album is getting ready to drop. And I've been hearing things about basically, you know, in the battle, he talked about, he did say the only person he moved for is Taylor Swift. Now, why does this matter? Well, right now, Drake is just living in I want to pass Michael Jackson. I need a #1 song to pass Michael Jackson. And he's been getting the 2. He got the 2 like 3 or 4 times. He knows if he tries to drop anywhere within that month of Taylor, there's no way that song's making #1. No way. So that Iceman crap's going to get pushed into 2026, if you ask me. It's definitely going to get pushed because if Drake come anyway, and you know what? I feel Taylor is going to hold. I think she already probably dropped a release date. I think she did, if I'm not mistaken. I think she might have dropped a release date. But we're seeing people come together to block Drake. And it's all things he's done in the industry to upset everyone, you know, because no one's coming. You see a few people coming out and try to throw stones and say, oh, Drake this or Drake that. No, man, if you're going to come correct. Drake's been doing bad things to a lot of people for a long time. And people have been saying it for a long time. But now it's been exposed. The Band-Aid was ripped off. It was ripped off. And this right here is a whole nother reason why people feel the way they feel about Drake. Drake adding Kendrick Lamar's family to this lawsuit proves what we've been saying for a long time, that this has nothing to do with the goddamn rap beef. Like, dude, just give up and walk away. What are you trying to figure out? Like, what does the paternity test of Kendrick Lamar's kids have to do with a rap battle? And even if it has something to do with the rap battle, when does that become illegal? It becomes a legal situation where we need to find that out. When do we need to find out who the hell his kids are? Why do we need to know that? What does that have to do with us? And why do y'all feel so entitled as Drake stands that y'all say, oh yeah, this is right. This is something that we need to lean into. Oh, y'all insane? It's something wrong with y'all. something definitely got to be wrong with y'all. Something definitely got to be wrong with y'all. Yeah, I'm a little hot. This is a longer video, but this is a match about this Drake bull crap situation, man. If you're a fan of hip hop, if you're really a fan of hip hop, there's no way you could tell me you side with Drake on any of this. Y'all need to let me know down in the comments how y'all feel about this, because I'm a little ticked off. I'm going to see y'all in the next one, y'all. Peapod Cove, I'm out, y'all. Love you. Y'all be safe out there. Stay away from these goddamn haters, because they don't do nothing but hate, 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 hate.